Good afternoon, Yeshivat Frisch. I'm Rebecca Kieffer, and this is the award-winning Frisch News Network. It's been a busy month here at Yeshivat Frisch, and even though we're back to business, our brothers and sisters in Israel continue to be at the forefront of our hearts and minds. We've kicked off the month of April with back-to-back programs that deeply resonate with the students. First, we had a chance to meet and hear beautiful performances from a group of Israeli high school singers visiting the U.S. as part of an international tour of the Hazamir Choir. The exchange was moving and fun, as students got to not only hear the group members' talented voices, but also got to hang out and talk about life. Next, it was Mental Health Awareness Week at Yeshivat Frisch, and a huge program was coordinated by student volunteers featuring a keynote address by famed speaker Rabbi David Beshefkin, followed by a choice of breakout sessions.
It's Mental Health Awareness Day here at Yeshivat Frisch, and students are spending time on themselves as they learn how to navigate their way through some tough issues. The day began with a joint session with the entire school, where student volunteers introduced the event and discussed the importance of one's mental health. Writer and podcast host David Beshefkin then addressed our entire yeshiva about his struggles in life and his mental health journey. Students then broke off into smaller sessions of their choice, covering topics such as executive function, tips on reducing anxiety, self-compassion, and more. Students and faculty alike appreciated the day and gained greater knowledge about themselves and their mental health. For Frisch News, I'm Lali. Back to the studio.
Well, donating blood is no ordinary feat, and Yeshivat Frisch students got to experience this mitzvah firsthand. Here's Abby Rich with more.
What message or advice would you give to someone who's considering donating blood for the first time?
So I see a lot of students that are so scared of needles. And I have been watching all these people that, all the students that are donating. And you know, the first week is just for the first second, it's painful. But the rest of the time, it's very smooth. And I spoke with some students and they feel so good about themselves, the fact that they did it.
What motivated you to donate your blood today?
So I wanted to help people, and I heard the announcement that they needed extra people.
For Frisch News Network, this is Abby Rich. Now back to the studio.
Thanks, Abby. In our ongoing efforts to stay informed about and connected to the events unfolding in Israel, Yeshivat Frisch students were privileged to hear from Israeli activist and social media influencer Noah Tishby. Tishby is a former actress, award-winning producer, and writer who uses her voice to advocate for Israel. It was an honor to meet her as she continues to inspire those around her to raise their voices in support of the Jewish state and in fighting anti-Semitism. Even in these trying times, Yeshivat Frisch school spirit has been bigger and better than ever, as evidenced by our recent high-spirited pep rally. Students enjoyed watching friendly competition as we highlighted our sports teams and other student groups. The event ended with a great rabbi-student basketball game that brought everyone to their feet. And what better way to spend a monumentous day in solar history than with your closest Yeshivat Frisch friends? That's right, students got to go outside with special glasses to experience the solar eclipse together. The event was accompanied by a curated playlist and, of course, flying saucers. And now, to the feature everyone talks about. Ever wonder what really makes your teachers tick? We've got answers. It's our favorite Frisch News segment, Teacher 10. With another surprise guest, here's Alex Seligman.
I am Alex Seligman from Frisch News. I'm here with Rabbi Rosen. Tell me about general background info. Where'd you grow up? Where were you born?
I was born in San Antonio, Texas. And very soon after I was born, we moved to New York.
Yeah.
And after a couple months of looking, we settled in Mount Vernon, New York.
How'd you get into teaching?
I failed at everything else I tried to do. That's one answer. Mostly, I became a teacher because I wanted to make sure that no one ever had teachers the way I had teachers. So I'm trying to do better than the ones I had because I'd like my students to end up smart.
Something I'm curious about. I've heard a lot of rabbis, I mean, obviously they have smicha. It seems like just such a time gap and such a, like, as in 4 years of college and then it's 3 years of smicha. Isn't that like, it's an all-day type of thing? I don't know, how do you have the time for that? Did you do it before college, after college? When did it happen?
That's only one particular program you're talking about. I did a different kind of program. There are programs that are online. There are programs that are in person. There are programs that are independent learning. There are all sorts of different programs because all sorts of different people give smicha. So if the YU system through REITs is whatever number of years, that's their system. I did it through a kollel in Borough Park, where I met with a Rebbe out in Borough Park, and he gave shiurim, and I had to listen to tapes, and I had to do my own independent research, and I had to take tests and things like that. And then at the end, I had to sit in front of a Beis Din in Borough Park and have an oral exam there. So it didn't take me 3 years, and I was doing it while I was working, because I only did it about 15 years ago.
Working as a teacher?
Yeah.
So you always been a teacher, nothing else, or?
Always is a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Back when I was a boy, I was not a teacher.
Yeah.
I was a pretty good left fielder, though. One of the thoughts for my first career, because I was never going to make it as a writer, was doing radio. And that's actually my first degree after college was in mass communication with a specialty in radio. Mm-hmm. And I continued with that, and then I realized that I was not going to be able to live the life that I wanted to live pursuing radio.
How long have you been teaching?
I started teaching in the academic year 94, 95, I believe, which means that this is I'm not very good at math, but something in the range of 29th year. After I did my student teaching at North Quincy Public High School, I got a job at MTA, and I worked at MTA for 5 years. And then I went to Kushner for 7 years, and I've been here for the remainder, about 17, 18 years.
Do you think teaching has changed in any ways? Do you think students have changed? Or?
Students have certainly gotten more annoying. Now that might be. I'm willing to say it might be because I've gotten older and have less patience, and the students are just exactly the same as they always have been. Mm-hmm. But it's easier for me to blame the students than to blame myself. So I'm going to stick with the students are more annoying.
Do you ever touch on religion or Judaism in your English classes?
Absolutely.
Absolutely?
Yeah.
If you were in high school, what are the chances you think you'd use ChatGPT in some regard?
If I was in high school, I would certainly use ChatGPT in some way. I think I would use it for simple, mindless tasks, or to summarize other things I don't feel like reading. I wouldn't use it to create much that has to be created because I just don't believe that it does a very good job, and it's too easily wrong.
Well, that's all for us today here at Frisch News. Have a story idea? Want to get involved? Email us at frischnews@frisch.org. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram. For Frisch News, I'm Rebecca Kieffer. Have a great day.